Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. On this channel we talk about all things fandom and we talk about them in a positive way. This is something Saturday where we get to talk about something we didn't get to talk about the rest of the week. And today we've got to talk about this Christine remake that I kind of forgot about until it popped back up in my feed. So we're going to break it down and talk about it a little. Let's jump right into it. All right, everybody. So this news about Christine has been making the waves. A little bit here and there, I've been seeing it pop up through several different sources. And that news is John Carpenter is talking about the fact that he thinks that the new director of the movie will do a fine job with this movie, and it might even be better than what he made. He then goes on to talk about the fact that he only took Christine because he needed money. Now, this could be a very old interview, but I'm kind of thinking it's not, just by the number of people reporting on it. So it could be a relatively recent development. And I had forgotten that Blumhouse was even doing this film. It's been so long since we heard anything about this film even being in development or even being done that I just figured Blumhouse had given up on this project. Until now. Because now, not only do we have news on the project, but we have kind of an idea of what's going to go down in terms of a director and writer and that type of thing. And I'm not thinking this movie comes out in 2024. I'm thinking maybe 2025, unless things progress really, really quickly. Brian Fuller is slated to direct the film, with Jason Blum serving as executive producer alongside Vincino Natali and Stephen Halperin. It is unclear, right now, if Stephen King's going to have any sort of involvement at all. He does sometimes like to play a part in these films a la Alfred Hitchcock, and I always find these little cameos to be quite interesting. But Jason Blum has revealed that the script has been finished. They're committed to keeping the film rooted in the 80s, which I like. That's a good thing, because if they're keeping this film in the 80s, that's going to mean that they're staying true to the source material in a way that's probably going to work better for the overall film. It might look like an aged project, but you know how it goes when you have a piece that takes place in the 80s that's filmed today. You can obviously tell it was filmed in 2023 or 2024, etc., etc. You can tell these things. But the idea that they're going to set it in the 80s is something that I think is going to work to its advantage. They said that, this is their goal, to keep it kind of true to that original. But this is not Fuller's first take on a Stephen King classic, because he tried his hand before at a Stephen King project. That's right, he actually did Carrie back in 2002. Now, this wasn't met with the biggest applause or the greatest reviews, but it is an update to a movie that arguably some people would say didn't need it. Because we already had a remake of Carrie only a few short years before that, and then we had this one as well. And outside of horror, he has written shows like Pushing Up Daisies and even some Star Trek Discovery episodes. So this is not really all that much of a stretch for him. I think it will be a kind of interesting take on seeing this movie get made and seeing it stick around to be in the 80s. But like I said, I wasn't sure this project was even coming out. Not a lot had been talked about on it or actually seeing any sort of progression on it until we hear that the script is finished and until all of a sudden John Carpenter's talking about this film. So I kind of think this might be a relatively new interview. And I was just shocked to see how many places I saw reporting this. So I kind of want to know what you guys think. Are you ready for a Christine reboot? And do you want it to be set in the 80s? Would you like it to be set in present day? It's kind of one of those catch-22s where I'm sure we're going to have some fans that say, hey, set it in modern times, then they don't have to go through the efforts of trying to make everything look old-fashioned because it never works. And then we'll have some people saying, no, set it in the 80s because that's just going to be cool. But it's kind of just one of those things. Fans will probably be split on that alone. But as a director and a writer, this guy has done some cool stuff. I could see him jumping in, and if Blumhouse is involved, you know their projects are always kind of hit and miss with fans. Sometimes fans really enjoy them, and sometimes fans really don't like them at all. But I think what we're looking at here is a project that could be rebooted several times over a course of several years. And it really wouldn't make a whole lot of difference. It's just another take on this project. Stephen King's projects are unique that way in that they can be remade over and over again. Look at The Shining and look at It. We've seen them get remade. Look at some of his films. Like I said, Carrie was remade twice. So this concept of remaking this movie, it was shocking to me, but I really didn't expect to hear anything about it again. I thought it was a dead project. Now, regarding the cast, no one has been announced yet. But with the script written, I would guess that as soon as the writer's strike is over, we're going to start hearing some stuff about this project. And that's going to be pretty cool to see unfold. Because if this project is not a dead project by the time the writer's strike and actor's strike is over, it's a project that I'm going to be watching pretty closely. But I want to know what you guys think. Alright, everybody. We want to know what you guys think, so go ahead and leave us a comment in the comment box below. Make sure to share this video with all of your friends so that they can be part of the conversation as well. Don't forget to hit that like button. It's free. It helps the channel and we appreciate it. Then Miko says we need more subscribers. And you don't want to disappoint Miko. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell while you're down there so you don't miss a single video we do. And then at the end of the day, I know it, you know it, and Miko knows that fandom is family.